I think it's good.
Okay, we're gonna start the Planning Commission meeting for January 22nd, 2025. We like to start our meetings with doing the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'd all stand. Join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. Can we get a roll call, please?
Chair Erickson?
Here.
Vice Chair Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Tippett?
Here.
Commissioner Snow?
Here.
Commissioner Lidke?
Here.
Commissioner Edwards?
Here.
Commissioner Kasparian is excused.
All right, did everyone have a chance to read through the minutes of our last meeting?
Yes.
All right, anything to note?
No.
All right, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of, what was the date? January 8th, 2025.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. We have one item on our agenda under public hearing. We have Joshua Smith requests conditional use permit approval for a 224-unit townhome project located at 7309 South, 180 West in the transit-oriented development zone. Liz is presenting.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so for those of you that are familiar, this is just off 72nd where the old behavior hospital used to be, so it's quite a big piece in that area. And the proposal is for 224. I know this is hard to see on the screen, but tried to include the site plan there for you. We've analyzed it against our conditional use standards and found that the proposal met all of them. I know a big one tends to be parking, and they did provide more than enough parking, both in guest and in just regular required. I sent you quite a bit in the packet so you could look at the details of that proposal. I have not included all of those in my slides tonight, just some elevations. They're planning to be 3-story townhomes, and they had a variety of different floor plans and, building renderings and how that might look and shake out. I also included a landscape plan for some general idea as to what that will look like, but happy to answer any questions. I know the applicant is here tonight. I do have a motion when you get there, and I have one public comment that came in that I will just read in, if that's okay with you all.
Yes, please.
It's from Lorene Butler, and she was hoping to attend the meeting tonight and then was feeling well and so is not here tonight. She says, "This project will go through no matter what the residents wish because government says otherwise. Heaven help us for wanting to retain our small town city. I don't envy your position." Sorry, this wasn't an email addressed to me. "I don't envy your position. The whole staff is making sure I's are dotted and T's are crossed so developers are assured they can go ahead. I appreciate your answers to my questions, your help clarifying matters, and your kindness. Too many, too tall, and no ownership. Hopefully not gates on the back property line. Exiting to the tracks property. Respectfully yours, Lorene Butler." So that was the only comment I received, and she's actually the only person I ever communicated with prior. And to answer the question, there are 2 entrances and exits just off. You can kind of see them there and here on the site plan. One right on that 180, and then the other one that kind of goes further, I think, into the Remington apartments or just east of that, but none to the properties that are on the south. So, any questions for me?
How many extra parking spots do they have?
Oh, almost quite a few. I want to say almost 100 if I'm correct. They were required to do 336 and they have provided 448. So I think every unit has 2 stalls. And the developer, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah.
So we're not going to get attacked and yelled at by
No, I sure hope not.
Because there's not enough parking
Yeah.
like in other parts.
Yes. No, not with this one.
Well, and most of these have garages too, so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. So if the applicant would like to approach and state your name and tell us a little bit more, please.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Smith, so I'm here representing Urban Alfondre. This project will ultimately be a partnership between Urban Alfondre and Acilia Investments. My partner Brad is also here from Acilia Investments. So Urban Alfondre, we're focused on transit-oriented development, multifamily housing, family housing, missing middle housing. And so when this opportunity came before us, we were very excited. You know, it's right next to the Midvale-Fort Union Station, very close to 7200 South on the freeway. And we believe in creating something that we take pride in, that we can own for a long time, that our residents want to live there, that it's something that's beautiful. You'll notice in the middle of the site plan, you know, you have a clubhouse, which is pretty uncommon in a townhome rental product. And so you have lots of amenities in the clubhouse, lots of outdoor space. We have multiple parks throughout the site, small pocket parks for families. We also have multiple dog parks throughout the site for those, you know, pet-friendly users. And we're just really excited to have this project here in Midvale. So we wanted to be able to use the site to its fullest, but also provide something that makes it really attractive for the neighborhood and for those who want to live there. So we're excited to be right next to UTA and hope we can work with them in making this a great place for people to live and have access to all the great things in Utah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just get this open for the public hearing portion. We have a few people here, so if you would like to get your comments on the record, you would come forward, state your name. Also, be sure you sign in. You can do that afterwards, but just be sure to put your name down. That helps with our record keeping for the record. That's not clear. So if anyone would like to come forward and make a statement on this project, you're more than welcome. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. And we will have Lorraine Butler's entered. It came before the public hearing, so I just want to state that so everyone's aware.
Hi.
Hi.
I've never been to one of these before, so I don't know exactly how this works, but I came tonight because I'm very against this project. I live on Cottonwood Street, which is kind of backs the east side of it. I'm very worried about all the traffic, the increase in population. We already have so many apartment complexes in this area and too much traffic. And this street that California Drive is, you know, a very small street. We already have people parking on both, well, at least one side of it, and makes it very hard to travel. I'm worried about the infrastructure. Will the, where's all the water coming from and all the infrastructure? And then also, this is a neighborhood of a lot of older people. And the construction is going to drive us all crazy. And then once it's built, the traffic, everything else. So I think I represent most of my neighbors here tonight, even though they're not here, but I'm very against it.
Can you give us your name, please?
Becky Taylor.
So that we can get that on the record. Thank you.
Rebecca is my legal name, but I go by Becky.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no one else, I will entertain a motion.
Close the public hearing? Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Yes.
Second.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
So I have a question. So if we're concerned about the traffic on Cottonwood, there's not an entrance on California. There's not an entrance on California? Yeah, there's nothing on the south sides.
Pardon me, I think she may be confused with where you guys took the CenturyLink. That's on California. You guys familiar with where that is? I
Yeah.
think, because I'm kind of neighbors with her as well, so I just wanted to kind of, I think she's mistaking that lot there to where you're actually proposing over there by Sportsman's, correct?
By Sportsman,
Yes.
correct, directly behind
No,
Sportsman.
sorry,
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
different, so the traffic isn't going to necessarily affect our
correct.
neighborhood.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be quite a bit further, well,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
quite a bit,
I
but further
think-
east,
I
yes.
think the MODA building there that you guys did,
Yes.
you know, there is some traffic because because they're all parking on the street, they're parking over, the parking lot. Yes, so I think the assumption is if you did it right there on California, are people gonna be traveling through that neighborhood?
Yeah.
Not this case.
Are there any plans for that cemetery?
Should we reopen the public?
Yeah, can we reopen the public, so we can make sure we get comments on the record?
Yeah, and so we might need like a summary of some confusion that's going on. So we're going to reopen the public hearing portion, just so that we can get everything on the record, so it's clear. So we want to clarify where this is located and the streets that surround the area and where the access points are, so we can understand where the construction traffic will be, but also where residents will be coming in and out. So they're coming in on 180 West, correct?
Predominantly.
Predominantly, and then,
So is this right here Sportsman's Warehouse?
Correct.
Yes, correct.
okay. So I hope that reorients everyone, so we're clear. If there are further comments regarding that with this clarification, please come forward.
I apologize for my implication.
Oh, no,
I'm still very concerned about
Let's get it near the mic, so that
so
our,
we can get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm still very concerned about increase in population, more apartment-type living, and the noise of the construction, and increased traffic, increased, population that can the infrastructure support it? We already have a water shortage. So those are my main concerns.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
hanging in there with us. Was that the gentleman? Oh, okay. I'll entertain a motion to reclose.
Like to close that? Is that what you're saying?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing portion.
Thank you.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you for your patience while we got through that.
Okay, yeah.
Good question.
Can we have the developer come up so that we can maybe ask some questions of him?
If he's willing.
Happy to.
Okay.
Put you on the hot
That's why I'm here.
spot.
Okay, so these are just rental properties?
Yes.
Correct? Do you have an idea of rental prices, what maybe you're proposing for rents? I know that we have a real problem with, we don't have enough low-income housing. So are any of these going to be available for low-income housing?
So none of these will be, tax credit subsidized or any sort of federal subsidy of any sort. We do design these, so a typical townhome is, 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, and a lot of the pricing and rental product is per square foot. These are not that. These are much smaller and more efficient so that you're not getting those high price points. We haven't nailed that down exactly yet. We're still working on a property management group and what we can get here. But our average square footage here is below 2,000 square feet. So they range from, I believe, around 1,100 square feet to about 1,700 square feet. So they're going to be much cheaper than your typical rental townhome. But they will come with all the amenities as well. So we hope to make it a really affordable, attractive place to live and not be, out of people's price points where they can't live there. We want people to come here and fill right up.
And what about the infrastructure? I did see in the packet there was a letter regarding the need to tap into a different sewer line, and that's going to be taken care of.
Yep. Yeah, so this is actually our resubmittal for the conditional use permit as well as the site plan. We were working with engineering and we had to adjust a little bit as to where the sewage and water was going to be coming from. You can see just barely there up at the top, there's a green line that goes up to 180 West. Mm-hmm. So we've had to extend that sewer out into 180 West, and I believe we're going all the way up to 7,200 South in order to get the capacity that we needed. But we've worked through that with engineering as well as with the sewer district. So everything should be just fine.
Okay.
Great.
Those are my questions. I don't have any others.
Those are very good
Great.
I
questions.
thank you for doing more parking.
Of course.
We have one complex that they're in an uproar and ready to hang signs that says, "Don't buy here,"
Oh, yeah.
because there's not enough parking and stuff, and they're condos for sale, and I think that's really unfortunate that they didn't foresee, they just did the bare minimum.
Yeah. We live in Utah. People love their cars.
Yeah.
People like big cars. People like getting to the mountains, space for their skis, snowboards, hiking gear, whatever it may be. And so every single one of these has an enclosed garage, 2-car garage, some tandem, some side by side, but all with 2-car garages.
So the one-car doors are tandem parking?
There.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So you have plenty of space for 2 cars, or if you have just a lot of stuff in one car, they should all fit within that garage space, no problem. And then we have the additional, I think we're close to about 60 shared parking spaces throughout the site that are outside of the 2 per unit.
Okay.
So, yeah. No, nobody not getting rid of their car yet.
Mentioned that part of management will be monitoring our garages as well.
Yeah.
It will not become a storage unit.
Yeah, that's very true.
Thank you.
So this will be a professionally managed product. It'll be using one of the larger property management groups in the nation. We've looked at a few different ones, but either one that we pick, they're very well staffed. It'll be a fully gated community as well. So it'll be fully secure and safe from any sort of transients that are coming in or out of the area. I know that's somewhat of a problem right now with the behavioral hospital being empty. So we want to make sure that this is a uplift to the community, something that's really nice, something that's wonderful to live, that's safe and secure, is also beautiful. So
What's your estimated timeline from construction start to completion?
we're looking at about 26 months or so. So we're hoping to do this in about 4 phases. The first phase will include the main entrance there, the clubhouse, and the surrounding townhomes, and then the rest of the townhomes to follow.
So the clubhouse is in phase 1?
Yes. Yep. Nobody likes to move into a community where the clubhouse
I'm
isn't
hearing
done.
lots of answers that I like.
Good. I myself moved in a community down in American Fork, and the clubhouse was well behind, and we learned that's not what people like.
Great.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Liz, I have a question for you. On 7300 South there, it looks like there'll be an entrance there. Does that connect into is that just dead end, or does it connect into those subdivisions or apartments?
So that street does continue further east into other apartments.
Okay.
To the east. So yes, it doesn't.
So they could
Connect to Remington?
It connects to Remington. I'm
Yeah.
not sure where the outlet is there.
I think if we go back a couple slides, it showed it.
Liz, do you have your little clicker?
Yeah, they're telling me that it does end at State Street.
Correct.
That it will go out and through. So I
So
suppose they
there-
could access either way, though I don't know that anyone would go through the
Yeah, so
apartments. They
the
would probably go
traffic
on
would
the
come from State Street and mostly from 7200,
Yes.
not through any subdivision or
Yes. Correct.
Cottonwood Lane or anything like that. Okay.
Yes.
I like the area for this because it's right next to the track station and it's a TOD, and it fits with our master plan and our vision for those transited area developments. I really like that they have more parking than they're required to. I know that's been a problem. And then that the clubhouse is part of phase 1 rather than phase 10.
I agree on the location and just needing to be developed. I think developments around transit-oriented things, that's kind of was the vision when track stops were created. So I appreciate that. I've been wanting to have more visibility around this area, and more people brings visibility. So I think that will help in a lot of ways that are hard to keep track of. It is a bit dense, but I understand that that's probably a good thing. These homes may not be for many families, but they will be perfect for some. So I do recognize that opportunity, especially near transit where maybe you don't need those 2 cars. That would be lovely. And also being on a ski. Yeah,
Ski corridor,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, wasn't there threats from the state on this property about making it a homeless shelter? Wasn't there kind of,
Not on this one.
not on this one? Okay. And does the state own it, or it's private entity? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just a little disappointed that I look like container on container, like you stack containers. It's not beautiful by any means. I mean, it is like you're in a train car.
They're very similar to those ones on 30s,
Oh,
which I know are not your favorite.
no. Container on container. It's too bad. Not that you're going to do anything about it, but I'm just telling you, it's not really attractive. It really looks like you've stacked train car on train car.
Train cars are stored.
Yeah, storage container, sea container with a few windows.
We try to balance that out oftentimes
Well, your clubhouse looks great.
with density versus price, right? You have
Yeah.
less density, you have to charge more.
I mean, I get it, but it's just not pretty.
See, and I don't mind the modern design, and I like that you bumped it out in places so it's just not flat and a box, just a big long line of boxes.
You actually have our architect here as well, if you'd like to
Well-
ask about how he approaches it.
Just beat them up.
Oh, you can meet me up, I'll take it. Hi, I'm Dan. My name's Dan Teed at Mint Architecture. This was a challenging one, but it was really fun to work on. The goal was to try to design kind of a missing middle product that could be a 3-bedroom house for people that maybe can't afford to move into a single-family home. If you look on the very bottom right, we have 2 different exterior skins, and then we're playing with 6, 7, 8 different color schemes that'll be used throughout the site to give it a little bit of personality so it doesn't look like every building is cookie cutter. These units are, I think, pretty unique because it's dense housing, but every family gets a front door. They get a 2-car garage. The perimeter units have their own private fenced backyard. So if you have kids or a dog or want a garden, you can do that. And it all has access to like a little town square in the middle. So when you pull in, you see, the beautiful clubhouse. We have that third place that we kind of lack. You can get out of your house. You can go for a walk. We have a half-mile track around the perimeter of the lot. You can go get a coffee at the clubhouse, go to the pool, go to the gym, go for a walk with your dog. We're trying to make a community that is dense, but also feels like you have a front door, you have a building that looks a little bit different than next door to you. It is hard to keep the prices down and keep, the buildings unique and all individual, but we've done, I think, a pretty good job of giving them personality and individuality. We have some more modern, some more traditional elements throughout the site. We'll do several different interior schemes as well. So if people, like this one or that one, there's a lot of different variety for people to come and live, whether that be a family with 2 kids or 2, working professionals that want a home office or something. There's a lot of variety in this community. And I think it provides a type of housing that a lot of people, especially in their 20s and 30s, it's hard to either have an apartment building where you have to ride an elevator to your house, or you're living out in Eagle Mountain. It's like, this is kind of that type of housing that's hard to get in this area. So I think it's a really important project for the area. You've got the tracks and, like you mentioned, the bus line right up to the ski resort. And then, people could live here, they could work downtown, they can work locally here in Midvale, and they can have a little community within that development. Yeah. Any other questions or things to talk about on the architecture side of it?
Kramer's gonna kill you for your firewall.
The zigzag.
The zigzag is a unique, I've never done that one before, but it is a very interesting type of unit because it gets that's how we're getting a lot of the 3-bedroom units when you do the zigzag. It gives you the width on the top floor where the bedrooms are to get the 3 bedrooms, but also the 2-car garages on the basement, on the ground floor, I mean.
I will say architecturally, I appreciate your efforts with changing the materials. to create the different moods. I think to Robin's point, the proportions are still the same. And so I think that's what's
Yeah.
giving you that stacked look. But that is also what's keeping the prices down, I assume, where they're all the same size. And so I can balance where you're at.
Yeah.
But I
it's
do
a
appreciate
tricky
that.
balancing act we're all doing, and
I do appreciate
yeah.
your undulation and
Yeah.
all of that, so I do understand.
Thank you.
It's just hard to get away from the proportions,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want you to walk away feeling like we're mad at.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not mad.
Thanks, Robin. I appreciate
She
it.
really is.
Another,
I was.
another thing too is everyone pulls into the development and everyone sees the clubhouse in that town square. And then you only really go to where your apartment is. You're not like
Right.
driving around the sea of units, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone sees the big, beautiful, grand town square, and then you just go to your unit. So it looks like a lot on the site plan. I think experientially it'll be more of like, I live in this community and then that's my house right there, type of a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pocket gardens, I think, probably help, or the pocket parks is what you
Yeah,
call
we
them.
do, we have 19 foot between buildings, which is pretty significant, to allow for little dog parks, little playgrounds, little things all throughout the site as well. So people don't have to go all the way to the middle if they want to just go hang out at a little
Yeah.
pocket park, yeah. And then there's that, like I was saying, a walking trail around the whole thing.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The only other concern I have that we haven't discussed is the ingress to Remington Apartments is shared with this. And so where we already have a bunch of density from Remington Apartments, adding what could potentially be double to the existing roads, I worry about the congestion we're possibly causing in that scenario. And I know that staff has opined there saying that it meets the requirements as well, so.
But there's a road that goes, so are we talking the road through Remington that goes
To
to
State
State?
Street.
It's the
Yeah.
only, yeah, it's the only,
That's the only alternate from 180 West.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
They both share just those two.
Yeah, with the speed bumps in Remington, I don't think that that would be the preferred route,
Sure.
but I do understand your concerns. Yeah. Yeah.
But I like that there's two ways to go. Because I think that the more you have access to something, the more community it is, but the more you shut off streets and block streets and stuff, I don't like that. We've seen that happen because people are worried about the traffic and then the traffic is not an issue, but now we've shut down a road because we're worried about traffic and then you lose flow. And I think that goes with pedestrian, having access to tracks and stuff like that, so you're not having to walk around. And we've had that problem too, where people live right behind a track station, but they have to walk 2 blocks to get to their house because they were adamant that we don't put in a gate because it will bring riffraff into their neighborhood. And yet they're the riffraffs that's using the tracks because they work uptown. So I appreciate what you've done.
Well, I really like this project. I think it goes a long way to help us with our 7200 South proposal that we've been working on.
It's a good fit to the
I
master
think it's a
plan.
good fit to the master plan, and yeah, the buildings kind of look alike, but the fact that they are going to be fairly affordable for families, I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, I like it too.
On that note, do we want to look at a motion?
Sure.
That was my cue for Liz.
That was
Thank
your
you.
cue for legal.
Oh, yeah, we should check in with legal.
That was your cue.
So
I forgot.
this is an administrative decision, so it is your guys' decision to make. If it does meet the requirements, you are required to approve it. If it doesn't meet the requirements, you can deny it, or if there's mitigating things, you can approve it with mitigating factors to take into consideration.
Thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion. I move that we approve the conditional use permit for a 224-unit townhome project located at 7309 South, 180 West in the Transit-Oriented Development, TOD zone, with the findings included in the staff report.
I'll second.
Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Chair Erickson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Anderson,
Yes?
Commissioner Snell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lidke,
Yes.
Commissioner Tippett.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. All right, the next item on the list.
Thank you for your presentation.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yes?
Good job, architect. You got my thumbs up.
Oh, gosh. Next up on our list is the staff update and other business.
Today, I don't have very much for you since we had a lot last time. I just wanted, yeah.
It's online, you can watch the YouTube.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure that everyone has the Planning Commission dinner on their calendar
I'll double check.
on Thursday, February 20th at 6 p.m. And I got RSVPs from all of you, so I think we're good to go on that one. And
Thursday, the 20th.
yes,
Okay.
Aubrey.
Just a reminder, if you spoke tonight, if you would please sign in before you leave. It's just right on the outside table. It just helps me with my minutes. Thank you.
Well, and otherwise, thank you for the time that you spent here and also at home reviewing the packets and minutes. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, staff.
Yeah, thank you, staff, for putting up with us.
That's all I claim.
I move that we adjourn at 6:30.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Have a great evening.